Holy Toledo! Look at all this hardware on my desk. It's all so black and red and full of ROG logos. It's almost as if ASUS sponsored this video. In fact, they did. Thanks, ASUS. It's been a long time since I've had this many high-end and unique PC components on my desk at the same time, so I'm very excited right now. This is like the best Wednesday ever. So that's what we're doing today, is just cramming all these beautiful objects together in hopes of turning it into a functioning gaming PC. We have a lot of stuff going on here, so let me just get right into it. For starters, we have our case, the ASUS ROG Helios. Let me try that again. The ASUS ROG Strix Helios. That sounds better. It looks like one of the towers from Lord of the Rings. We have these amazing straps, these very sturdy Velcro straps. I thought these were gonna be dinky when I first unboxed it, but this is actually one of the easiest cases I've ever pulled out of its retail box. Surprisingly, for how large and heavy it is, the straps just make it really easy to tote around. It has a fantastic front I/O with 4 USB 3.0 Type A ports, a USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type C port, also buttons for fan speed and lighting control. The chassis features integrated addressable RGB lighting, particularly on the front panel, which is made of tempered glass. There's also tempered glass on both of the side panels, and they have toolless release. That's pretty cool. It comes included with 4 140mm fans, and it looks like we even have a built-in GPU support bracket to help eliminate GPU sag. So we'll get to test that out in just a bit. As for our CPU, we have an Intel Core i9-7960X, 16-core, 32-thread CPU, of course on the Skylake X platform. It's an extremely powerful but also very power-hungry chip, but we've come prepared. We have an ASUS ROG Rampage 6 Extreme Omega X299 chipset motherboard. EATX form factor, it has an 8-phase power delivery consisting of 16 different power stages that are being driven by a pair of 8-pin 12-volt EPS power connectors. We've got an all-aluminum heatsink cover, onboard Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, even 10 gigabit Ethernet LAN built right in. Of course, the board supports quad-channel memory. We have 8 DDR4 DIMM slots supporting speeds up to 3600 megahertz. You can push that even further if you're overclocking, and we'll be slotting in 32 gigs of G.Skill Trident Z RGB DDR4 memory at 3200 speed. Now, if this system isn't going to be tricked out enough, we also have an ASUS ROG Aura Terminal, which is their addressable RGB lighting controller. As you might expect, the device supports ASUS Aura Sync. It also comes included with 2 LED strips, but they've shipped over 2 additional strips at 60 centimeters apiece, as we do have a lot of ground to cover inside of our Helios. Now, it's worth noting at this point that if you're the jealous type, this video is not about to get easier for you. And that's because for our video card for today, we have the one and only ASUS ROG Matrix Platinum RTX 2080 Ti. This is the card that they showed off at CES that everyone was talking about, that features a built-in AIO. They actually call it the Infinity Loop cooling system, which has a contained mini radiator, water block, and little integrated tubes all inside of the GPU. So you're essentially getting liquid-cooled or at least hybrid performance in the size of a standard air-cooled card. It's the type of product that nerds like us dream about buying if we ever won the lottery. As opposed to going out and buying a mansion and 5 cars, we would buy this. It's seriously insane, and I honestly can't wait to play with it. Now, having super reliable power for an extreme build like this is very important, so we've employed the ASUS ROG Thor 1200 watt platinum power supply. It's 80 plus platinum certified, as the name suggests, fully modular, has beautifully sleeved cables, and we have that handy OLED display that shows our power draw from the wall. Our last ASUS component up here is the ROG Ryujin 360mm liquid AIO, because why should our GPU have all the fun and be the only one who gets wet? Our CPU deserves some liquid lovin' too, especially for all the heat that it outputs. We have 3 beautiful Noctua NF F12 fans that are extremely quiet and very efficient at dissipating heat. The unit also has a very attractive water block with addressable RGBs, customizable OLED screen, and the list goes on and on. And then the final part is a storage drive. I saved the smallest for last. This is a WD Black SN750 M.2 PCI Express 3.0 by 4 SSD. And it's a 500 gig stick, so we're just going to be slotting it into our motherboard. I haven't decided where yet, so many options, but I think that's everything. Wow, okay. Links to all this stuff in the description, guys, if you want to check it out. My sincerest apologies to your wallets in advance, but holy cow, I am super pumped for this build. I'm not faking an ounce of excitement right now for the camera. I'm legitimately stoked to get this underway because damn. Damn over here, lots of damn over here. Okay, where do I even begin right now? I guess CPU installation. Yeah, I've done this before. Okay, let's do that. You know, I think there's something to be said about using components that all come from the same brand or the same gaming line. It's not to say that you can't make a beautiful system using a mishmashed mix of hardware, but there's a certain appeal here. It's a very cohesive look. It's all coming from the same engineers with the same design language in mind. It's a thing of beauty. The other perk here of using all ROG parts, for example, is that the lighting just matches. Like the teal on the graphics card is the same as the teal on the LED strip, is the same on the motherboard because it's all, again, from the same source. Obviously the G-Skill RAM doesn't count, but never mind about that. The other benefit is that the lighting effects sync really well across all the hardware. I mean, you can have a build with, 12 different components, all from different brands, and they're all supported by the same apps, Gigabyte Fusion, ASUS ROZ Sync, but that doesn't mean they're actually going to work together well in practice. You might have 80% of your parts that are all doing the same effect that you told it to, but there's always those 2 or 3 confused components that have no idea what glowing yo-yo is, and so they start dancing to a different tune and it completely throws off the vibe and ultimately the appearance of your system. Not here. It's completely uniform and it's awesome. The other thing I'll mention is that the Helios, very nice case to build in. Of course, no case is perfect. It did have a couple shortcomings. I didn't like how many screws I had to remove to get these power supply basement pieces off, and the cutouts at the top above the motherboard could be a little bit bigger. Maybe it's just my fat fingers, I'm not sure. But overall, fantastic case, lovely build experience, a lot of options, so many options and room for activities. Cable management is top notch. I'm sure you guys caught a glimpse of the backside. Whew, it's not just me. I know I do a fine job of cable management when I want to, but the case really made it easy. The GPU sag bracket is easy to use and it works. You can see that there's virtually no sag. There was a little bit of sag on the GPU without it, so it's actually kind of nice that we're able to use it effectively. And of course the case just looks really good with a system inside of it. When it's all powered on, the LEDs at the front are very seamless, no hot spots. As far as performance goes, I did overclock our 7960X to 4.3 gigahertz on all cores. That was a really quick and dirty overclock. I probably could have spent more time on it, gotten a little bit further, but for the sake of the video, 4.3 gigahertz on 16 cores, mind you. Not too shabby. My testing was done in GTA 5 at 1440p, max settings across the board. I think I probably left it running. I jumped on the train so that the train would just take me throughout Los Santos without me having to use the mouse or keyboard. But I think I was on the train for like 3 hours. I came back to look and CPU hadn't really gotten much hotter than 60s. It was in the 60s. I don't think I saw it in the 70s one time. So that was really nice to see. Of course, 16 cores in a game like GTA 5, it's not going to be leveraging all those cores. It's probably just, 95% of the time just chilling there. But still, it was nice to see some pretty decent temps there. We also have a 40 megahertz core clock offset on the GPU, so very small manual overclock because the thing's already pushed balls to the wall from the factory. But our clock speed was hovering anywhere between 2000 and 2100 megahertz. I also dialed in a 900 megahertz memory clock just fine. Within the 3 hours of GTA 5, mind you, all side panels were installed on the case. I think I didn't see it get much hotter than 68 degrees Celsius. That was as hot as it got. Now, of course, there's a fair chance you would see lower temperatures if you threw a custom loop onto this GPU, but that defeats the entire purpose of this product, which is to contain everything into the form factor of a single graphics card. No external radiator, pump, reservoir tubing. So considering what they were trying to achieve with this product, I think they did a pretty good job. And the performance is nothing to scoff at. I think I ran Firestrike Extreme. Firestrike Extreme got 17,278 on the overall score and 17,746 on the graphics score. So, this thing is a beast, and it's very quiet. It's extremely quiet. I don't know if they use an OEM for the fans, or because they're ROG branded fans. I forgot to ask or look at the reviewer's guide what kind of fans they are, but they're damn quiet. And I just got them plugged into the built-in fan controller. It's on the low setting, of course, but temperatures, again, are good enough to not need to go high. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. It's a pretty sweet build. Guys, let me know what you think about this thing, and if you subscribe to the idea of using components from the same brand or the same gaming line. Do you generally try to stick to complementary parts for your builds, or does it not matter much? Let me know down below, and what else? Toss a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Again, links to all the stuff that you see here can be found in the description below. If you like what we do here, consider supporting the channel by heading to our merch store and picking out something there, like the new Screw with Confidence shirt. They're super comfy and a good reminder. Also consider becoming an elite member of the channel for $4.99 a month. You get exclusive perks like custom emojis, badges, and even full access to a private feed that I post to regularly. But that is gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourselves a good one, and I'll see y'all in the next video. This thing's calling my name right now. I think I have to get a quick gaming session before I start editing. No one will mind. I deserve this. All right. Shoo along now, children. Go away. Oh, still smooth. Okay. A little awkward. Can't see me now, suckers.